I'm Johnny, you're watching A View to a Grill, and today it's smash burgers on the WeberStone. And if you're looking for other great videos on the barbecue topic, all you have to do is subscribe. For our seasoning, it's about a 50-50 mix of salt and coarsely ground pepper. Now I like to use fresh ground pepper, I just think it has a lot more flavor. All I'm going to do is set my grinding mill for a coarse grind and add it to the salt. We'll use two kinds of cheese today. The first is going to be Munster cheese, and the second is your classic American cheese right out of those little wrappers. Now I'm going to use about a softball sized onion, and I figure it's about half an onion per burger. We'll get that onion cut in half and chopped up. We're going to use a cast iron pot to get these onions caramelized, and for the oil I like to use canola oil. I think it has a nice neutral flavor and it has a pretty high burn point. We'll let the oil heat up and then just add them to the cast iron pot. It's okay to let these onions get as dark as you want. I just like to put a little color on them and soften them up a bit. I like that onion flavor, but the longer you let these go, the sweeter those onions will get through caramelizing them. I'll close the lid and let them go for a little while. Now it's time to preheat the WeberStone. This is just a 1/4-inch piece of steel that my dad cut out for me to fit my 26-inch Weber. At this point you could either use a little bit of oil right out of the bottle, or I had this canola oil close by, so I just sprayed some on. We're going to use 80-20 beef, which is just 20% fat. Makes for a juicier burger. And we're also going to season it with that salt and pepper mixture that we made earlier. We'll get that on the WeberStone and flatten them out. Now I probably should have smashed these a little bit more. And also for the shape of the burger, I wanted to try to get them to the shape of the rye bread that we're going to use later. But it didn't exactly work out the way I planned it, but the final result is still excellent. Once the patties have a nice crust on them, I'm going to set them over to the cooler side of the flat top just to let them finish cooking up. At this point, I'm going to toast my rye bread. Now, this is light rye bread as opposed to dark rye bread because I just like the milder flavor of the light rye bread. We'll lay down the Munster cheese and then close the lid so everything can get melted. I want to take a second to say that this is a collaboration video. In the search bar, if you just type in hashtag Ultimate Blackstone Burger, all one word, in the search bar, it'll bring up all the folks who participated in this hashtag collaboration. Once all the cheese is melted, we're going to build this burger. First of all, I like both sides of my bread toasted, so I'm going to lay this bread down toasted side up. We'll go with the onions first and then the American cheese right on top of that onion, so that when I put this back on the grill, the cheese would melt through the onions. Next, we're going to put the patty on with the melted Munster. That way it sandwiches and puts a little bit of weight on the American cheese to kind of force it in the onions below it. Next, the second piece of bread, toasted side down. Now we're going to toast the untoasted sides of the bread. Now this part of the video is done in real time because it only takes a few seconds to get your bread toasted on a hot flat top. We'll get the burger moved over to the grate side and close the lid. Now closing the lid is going to cause all that ambient heat in the kettle to melt the American cheese. After a few minutes, we're all done. And that is my hashtag Ultimate Blackstone Burger on the WeberStone.